Bitcoin has slipped a little after surpassing the 111,000 level for the first time. The new high came on the same day that President Trump hosted a dinner for top holders of his own meme coin. Joining us now is Bloomberg's crypto blogger, Emily Nicolle. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks.
This week's been a bit weird in many ways for the crypto market. It's felt correlated. Now it doesn't. Like, in some ways, that's how it should be. But this does feel like we've seen a bit of a shift this week.
Yeah, I mean, if you think back to how Bitcoin was behaving during all the tariff chaos, it was trading very similar to what we'd see in equities. We kind of thought the narrative that Bitcoin can be a digital version of a safe haven had gone away. That has now come back in full force. We're seeing equities behave quite poorly this morning, whereas Bitcoin is up. It has slipped a little bit, as you said, back from that record high, but it's definitely still trading higher, as are other cryptocurrencies as well. So
in terms of where we go next, like I'm beginning to hear some really big numbers. So, like, really big numbers. But what are you hearing? Where is the optimism right now? What is the expectation? I mean, we were just saying, actually, between us over on the news desk this morning that, you know, the next thing that we're looking for are those big level numbers, and there's no reason why Bitcoin couldn't get there. We're starting to think of it more as that maturing asset class, that cryptocurrencies are moving towards that, especially as regulations come into fore. That's been the big driver this week, the stablecoin legislation kind of moving, progressing in the Senate. Trump continuing to be very favourable on crypto as well, is making a lot of institutional investors very confident in the asset class. So all of that is kind of building towards Bitcoin rallying further. The ETFs as well in the US tied to Bitcoin have done very well. And so as we see assets return to those kind of funds, that means that traditional players are moving into it. Retail may also be. And so all of that kind of portrays a rosier picture than you might get elsewhere. We're focused on Bitcoin, but there's obviously other coins out there. And there's also this story floating around now that we could see banks issuing a kind of joint coin too. Like, what are the next developments that we need to be watching out for? Stablecoins are definitely very interesting. I mean, that's the story that you're referring to there. With the legislation potentially going to be in place in the US by August, that then gives way to regulation being on the table within the next 12 to 18 months. And that would be very positive for that industry. You know, other banks and big firms also looking to enter the space. We have legislation for stablecoins in places like Europe already, so it allows also that global harmony. And if you have dollar-pegged assets like that acting as a gateway into crypto assets like Bitcoin, that all helps with getting traditional money, you know, big money into the space that wasn't there before.